He carried a corner of home in linen and thread, a small geometry of memory folded close to the chest. Lines were not only in the ground, they were written into forms and stamped into papers that decided who moved and who remained. When houses vanished, the hall became hearth. Small rituals of sharing drew new shapes of family from the ruins. A single smell could collapse years into a single breath, the kitchen where routine felt like safety. Vehicles that once carried market goods now carried people away from each other. Station platforms became punctuation marks in their stories.
Official lists offered a thin map, a hope that a name might lead to a face, and a face to a remembered home.
Words from home were relayed like fragile cargo, read aloud so others might carry them for a while.
Rivers had become thresholds, each crossing a wager that the far bank would still contain the life they remembered. Each night ended the same way, a small folding, a breath, and a promise kept close to the body. Even the fields were halved, one furrow tilled, the other abandoned, as if the soil itself bore the partition. Time was the only bridge left in his pocket, a rhythm unchanged, even as borders shifted around him. Words written with care but never delivered became monuments of silence, stacked in corners. Each name searched was a thread pulled, hoping the weave of family might reappear from torn fabric. Memory did not arrive whole. It came as fragments, a color, a fold, a sound not quite real. Waiting became its own geography, corridors measured not in meters, but in the hours of longing they contained.
At night, the river carried whispers and smoke.
In the scarcity of war, kindness was smuggled in small gestures, hidden like contraband of the heart. Bridges carried more than bodies. They carried the weight of decisions. Every fold was a vow that memory would not be surrendered, no matter how many borders were drawn.
The land itself had been halved, fields of memory fenced away from the fields of return.
He handled cloth as though tending a ledger, each fold a line he could still read by heart. Names were anchors thrown into chaos, a paper thread some still hoped might be grasped.
Messages moved like contraband, small combustions of hope, carried at the speed of a running foot.
A stamp could reroute a life, a brief brass authority determining where a family might wake the next morning. Rivers had become thresholds. Crossing them felt like a wager against forgetting, and a promise to remember. Names were not mere references, they were invitations, read aloud so absent ears might somehow hear.
He left letters not to boast, but so that a passing eye might one day read the proof of a life that had been here.
Each pin was a petition, a small signal cast outward, trusting that paper and hope might meet in the same place. A single fragment of a place could ignite 100 possibilities, a sliver of geography to chase across an uncertain country. He listened to the moving lights as if they were names, hoping one would slow and call his own. Hope can move a body faster than reason. For a moment, a silhouette becomes the whole world.
Boundaries here were formalities enforced by muscle and paper. Sometimes both made the same sound.
Sometimes the world offered an index, a single sweep of a pen that carried the weight of a remembered voice. Every attempt to close the distance felt like stepping into a story whose ending had not yet been written. A timetable is not promise, but it is a scaffold for hope, a place to lean on when everything feels afloat.
Rituals act as bridges. A bell struck across the cold can hold.
Sometimes the city yields a hinge, a sign, a shape, a surface on which a whole life can swing back into memory.
Every step through the mist felt like a careful negotiation with both the land and memory itself.
Rivers were mirrors, not of what is, but of what one hoped to find again. Every ruin carries a memory. Every touch is a conversation with the absent.
A bridge is more than wood and rope. It is a passage from one hope to another.
Exchanges small and quiet often carry the heaviest weight, each gesture a testament to trust. Walls may fall, but they sometimes reveal what has been waiting to be found. Distance does not erase presence. It magnifies attention and the care it demands.
In silence, care is amplified. Every small gesture carries an unspoken message.
Paths forgotten by many often lead to answers that only the patient can find.
A place held for hope can hold all the anticipation of a lifetime in a single morning.
Every narrow approach carries the weight of what might lie just beyond vision.
Crossings are more than movement. They are commitments made in the quiet hours.
The outskirts often hold the stories the heart seeks most carefully. Even forgotten spaces remember the presence of those who once cherished them. In shared silence, trust is made visible through the simplest actions.
A light can speak more than words, drawing attention across the space between hope and reality.
Hidden messages often wait patiently, knowing the right eyes will discover them.
Even in the fading light, determination carries figures forward through open space. A familiar presence after long absence can make a place feel like home again in a heartbeat. Sometimes words are unnecessary. The body speaks the language the heart has longed to hear.
In shared spaces, presence becomes both comfort and continuity. The dawn brings not only light, but a promise that separation can end and new beginnings await. And so, steps taken together chart a path beyond absence into the continuation of life itself.